All right, now it's time for our static holds. We've got 5 supersets to do. Each superset is going to be one 15-second front lever, immediately followed by one 15-second L-sit on the rings if you can. Okay, if your ring support isn't even up to where you can do 15-20 seconds at least, you should not be trying the L-sits on the rings. Just do them on the parallel bars and do regular ring supports here. It's not going to help you if you can't do it right. And then we're going to finish off the German hang, and then we're going to take a rest. A short rest though, it'll be like 30-35 seconds, so maybe we just bang all these out right away. Alright. Remember, your primary focus in the L-sit should be on proper support and rings turned out and elbows locked. It's a little bit harder than it looks, and I'm sure it doesn't look super easy. For me, it's easier to just do my German hang on this bar than it is to mess with the rings. Notice that I'm concentrating on keeping as vertical of an upper body as I can. I'm not trying to hold myself in any particular position. I just want to get the best stretch that I can get in the German hang. You're going to feel it in your chest, especially if you're sore or pumped from all this stuff that we did on the rings for strength. And you'll probably feel it in the front of the shoulder. You can do the German hang with a palms up grip, but it will not stretch everything around the bicep tendon, and it won't build any extra strength around that area. So, but what it will do is it stretches the front of the shoulder slightly better because you're internally rotated, which puts the stress right on the deltoid, and that may be good for some people. So it should not be the bulk of your training, but some will get a lot out of it. So use it appropriately. Don't use it exclusively. I don't know how good my counts are. I tend to experience a good bit of time dilation when I'm working hard. And that makes it somewhat difficult for me to keep a count. I also have my breaks here, just like I talked about in the nutrition thread, which you can find at gymnasticsbodies.com in the nutrition subforum. And the title is Perfect Pre, Mid, and Post-Workout Nutrition. This will explain how important meal timing is, what the right meal timing is, and how many meals you should really be having. And the answers are going to surprise you more than you think, and what you eat is a little more important than you think. If you think that having 1 or 2 meals after your workout during the couple hours afterwards is enough, you are sadly mistaken. You are missing out on the most important part of your day. The workout's good, but that's not when your healing happens. Almost all of your muscular healing happens immediately after the workout. And if your body doesn't have the right foods in it, you're going to miss out on an awful lot of potential gains. You do this right, and people who don't know what you're doing might think you're on the juice. It's good stuff, okay? Not the juice, but proper nutrition. It's not going to get you kicked out of anything because you're supposed to eat right. But once you know what you're supposed to do, and once you can implement it properly, you're going to feel like $1,000,000. You're going to feel strong all the time. You're going to see visible results from 1 week to the next. And you're not going to be tired. And that's going to let you train to your potential. And if you're training at your potential, you're going to grow to your potential. And whether that means strength, power, size, doesn't matter. The body heals the same way no matter what. The things that it builds might be different, but what you need to give it to make those additional changes doesn't change. Okay? So check that out. Whew, man. It's a lot harder after ring strength. Who would have thought? You notice that I'm not taking any unnecessary rest here. You really shouldn't need a whole lot of rest because these 3 statics each engage very different muscle groups. And this one's a freaking stretch. As long as you can hang on to the bar, you're good. Everything else should really be relaxed. Okay. And if you need to, this is when you take your rest after each superset. Breathe a little, shake it out, let your man aura rebuild, and then maybe grab a couple grapes, and then pour me out, buddy. You gotta do it. Starting to get hard. And L-sit. Remember to keep your arms pressed tightly down towards the ground. Whew. You want to be trying to push your body up towards the ceiling as hard as you can. You are not just sitting there hanging. You are pressing up. Obviously your chest probably isn't going to stick out like that, but you're going to be elevating your body relative to the shoulders, not letting it sink down. And last round. One thing to remember on the front lever, shoulder blades must be retracted. Okay? Now you're not going to be in the ultimate super retraction pose probably, but you should still be pretty well retracted. If you're hunched forward like this, that is not alright. And I'll show you the difference right here. I've done this a few other times, but sometimes it's nice to see it again. So I'm going to start off in a good one, then I'm going to shift down to a bad position, and then I'm going to pull back up to a good position. I don't suggest you use this as an exercise unless you are really, really strong. Okay? Because this is essentially a body weight shoulder retraction. You're going to start off retracted, okay? Then you're going to come up. Now, a bad position looks like this. Yeah, I'm flat maybe, but my shoulders are forward. You got to be here. And it's tough. You're much better off being in a properly retracted tuck than an improperly retracted flat tuck or straddle, because the shoulder girdle musculature that you build up by maintaining that proper form, that proper retraction, is going to benefit you when you start going into Maltese and flange training, because if those muscles in the back aren't strong enough to hold the shoulder blade in place, you're not going to have any stability when you're pressing. You're going to fall out of place. You're just not going to be able to do the hold, because your body's not going to let you exert enough tension, even if your muscles are strong enough. That's one of the vagaries of neuromuscular inhibition. If the antagonists are not strong enough to match tension levels across the joint, the body is just not going to let you do things, regardless of what your force production potential could be. That's why some people hit a plateau that they can't seem to bust, no matter what tricks they try, tricks that work for balanced athletes. So the lesson to remember there is be balanced right from the start. Spend whatever time it takes to build strength evenly across the joints. Because in the long term, if you expect to be any kind of really competitive athlete, and I don't just mean at the college level, because any college athlete that goes pro will tell you that there is a world of difference between the pros and college. I'm talking about if you really think you're going to be the best, you're going to have to go balance your joints eventually. So you can either waste time when you're supposed to be peaking, or you can do it now. That's it. Slizzard Man out.